Hey everyone, in the previous video you have seen like how do you use a vector database to store your embedding. In this video we'll create a Foodly assisting RAG system. So this is where we'll enable your LLM models with a vector database, and so that your LLM models can go and fetch data from vector database and can answer on top of your organization data. So let's get started. So I'm in second module and I'm in the third notebook, that is 2.3, so you can follow along with me. First thing first is like we're going to use from database Langchain. There's something called a vector search retrieval tool. So we'll use this library to connect to your vector database. Once you do that, like it's very simple, the same steps that we have followed, that we are initializing a LLM model, and we are using a LLM model that is served in Databricks, and then we can call that LLM models, right? We are calling this with the tools, and basically the idea is you are creating a vector search retrieval tool that you just imported, and you're giving this as an index name, right? So this is the index that we created, right, in the agent's main, and this is the index name. What is the tool name? So we basically give a tool name. So this you can give anything else. Number of results. So remember we talked about that. Suppose we find a similar documents, then we want to just return only two results, right? It could have like 10 similar document, but to refine the result you are limiting it to 2. And there is a tool description. This is very important, right? So this is why this is important. This is important for a LLM models to understand that when it should use this particular tool. So you see that I have given a very specific tool description, that use this tool to search the Foodly knowledge base for policies, procedures, and service related information. It retrieves the most relevant chunks from the company official documentation, including referred rows and all the other details, right? So LLM models will understand, okay, I can use this tool to retrieve anything related to policy, procedures, or service related information. You just bind the tool, because this is nothing but this is also a tool, right? So we have seen this in a previous video, like how to bind a tool with LLM models. And then you just create a graph, and you add the node, and then you add the age, then you compile your graph. Then this is all you need, right? Once you do that, now let me ask the same question, right? What are the refund policies for Foodly? Because right now we have trained this with Foodly. So now what it'll do is, now it's able to get you all the Foodly related information, right? It says that, okay, these are the Foodly refund policies, these are the situation, these are the non-refundable cases, these are the refund timelines. So now you see that your LLM understand your company data, because we did not train your LLM model with your company data. All we did was we just provided the information to your LLM model, like how the LLM model should retrieve the information from a database, and it should know like what's the ground truth, right? So you see that I have also enabled the MLflow logging. So you can see the logging here. You see that it calls the Foodly policy document, right? And you see that in the inputs, it will show you there are two documents that you found, right? This is chunk 3, this is chunk 2, this is related to your user query. Now once it has the document in place, it can generate you the answer, right? So what I did was I just copy pasted this whole response as a markdown, and you see this is how your output will look like. Now you see how powerful it is, right, to connect your company knowledge with your LLM tools. Now think about, like, you can have all your company data created as a embeddings in a vector database, and you can just create different tools. Right now it is related to FAQ, but says like you can use it, you can create many other tools which is related to some other internal documents, and all you do is like you just bind it to with your LLM models. So what I'll recommend you to do, I'll recommend you to ask different questions related to the Foodly FAQ documents. And if you do not find any answer, maybe try to add that document in the food company document.txt, create embeddings, store this in a vector database, and then use this tool to retrieve this from. This is how we learn, right? So create and also use different embedding models, or I mean to say different LLM models, to see like how the answer differs from one model to another model. This is how you improve, and this is how you'll understand like how to create this RAG system. So this is a very basic example of a RAG system, but which is very powerful, where you connect the vector database with your LLM model. So this is all I wanted to share in this particular video. Thank you so much. And if you're really liking this video, just give me a like or comment your thoughts. And if you can, please share this video with your network. And if you think that this playlist will help others, please share the playlist as well. Thank you so much.